The Miami Heat must trade for James Harden. That is what we are talking about on today's show. And you might ask yourself, Nick, we are only 3 games through the NBA season. I have seen enough. This Heat roster needs a jolt. It needs another scorer/facilitator, and I think that guy is James Harden, the former Houston Rocket, Brooklyn Net, and current Philadelphia 76er. We'll break it more down in depth here in a second, but I want to make sure you guys are subscribed here at the Heat Report because we have the latest Heat news, rumors, and watch parties all season long. And if you stick around through the season and past the season, you'll find our off-season coverage is just as good. 100 subscribers away from 6,000. Hit that button, join the channel, and you will not regret it. I promise you that. All right, let's go back into James Harden because through 3 games of this Heat season, the offense has been lackluster. There has been no juice, and you could put that to the first game of the season. You could put it to Jimmy Butler not playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I will give you this. The offense played well against the Boston Celtics, a team that would on paper, give you issues defensively with Porzingis and Jrue Holiday alongside Derek White, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. But it's clear to me that James Harden needs to be part of this team in the 305 because what he would be able to do to unlock this Heat offense is something that the Heat desperately are craving and they don't have. So we've always known ever since Jimmy Butler came to the Miami Heat in 2019, alongside Bam and Tyler Herro, that there needs to be a true distributor of the ball. And you think of the best regular season in the past 4 years for the Miami Heat, it was in 21-22, the first season with Kyle Lowry. Well, why was that? It was because Kyle played a significant amount of those games and was very effective while playing. But in the last year and 3 games of his contract, he has been horrific. And he has not looked like the Kyle Lowry the Heat signed up for. And when I mean signed up for, I mean trading Precious Achiuwa, who was a 20th or a first-round draft pick. I forget if it was 21 or 20 at this point in time. But you traded him. You traded Goran Dragic. And you signed Lowry to a 3-year, $90 million deal. This man right here, Kyle Lowry, is your 3rd highest paid player on the team right now. $29.7 million is what Lowry is owed this season. And he is giving you numbers that are flat out unacceptable. And I think James Harden, who is yet to play in 2023 and has had an up and down tenure with the Sixers over the past 2.5 seasons, but I think he could be the guy that gets them over the edge. Before I go into Harden more in depth, should the Heat trade for James Harden? Type Y for yes, type N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. I really want to know what you guys have to say, so go into the chat. It'll be right at the top. Answer for me right now. Back to Harden. And in Philadelphia, he's had a tumultuous tenure in Philadelphia. There is no doubt about that. He's averaged 21 points per game, but the inefficiencies in the postseason is what held back the 76ers team and held back Harden's legacy, even going back to Brooklyn and Houston. I mean, ever since the beard got shipped to play with Embiid and Tobias Harris and the crew, he's averaged a very consistent 21 points per game in the regular season, but you see there that it dips pretty significantly in the postseason. 19.4 points per game. The efficiency goes below 40%. Yeah, I'm going to cheat and use that 0.1%. And he shoots 37.3%. But there is no denying it that James Harden does have his deficiencies because he has never performed in the postseason up to his regular season standards. But he does need to be on this Heat team, because what he would be able to do to unlock this Heat offense is something the Heat need. And Kyle Lowry cannot play make. He stinks. Through 3 games of the season, he's averaging 5.3 points per game, 4.7 rebounds and assists while shooting 42.9% from the field. Kyle Lowry is not the person he once was, and that's okay. He's 37 years old. You're not expecting him to go out there and give you 18 a night while playing 30-plus minutes, but he can't be the third highest paid player on a championship contending team when he's putting up those type of numbers. The juice isn't there. He can't defend anymore. He is a smart defender. He could take charges, but he cannot stay in front of anybody anymore. But the problems lie offensively because he's unwilling to take deep threes. He'll shoot them, but he's not going to be a main threat. Defenses are living with Kyle Lowry taking those three-point shots, and they're helping off. There's also no threat of him getting to the cup and collapsing the defense. And without a point guard that gives you absolutely nothing from going to the rim, you know how difficult it is to score when the opposing team doesn't have to worry about a guard crashing in? That's why Tyler Herro is so impactful for this Heat team and so key for them, is because he's the one ball handler that can drive by a guy, get to the rim, and make others rotate over. And he has not had that good of a start to the season himself. I'll talk more in depth about the Heat struggles and what they need here with Harden in a bit, but I got to show some love to our sponsor, that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks, my favorite daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and they got one heck of a deal for y'all right now. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for first deposit match up to $100. You don't have to worry about playing pros and sharks like you do on other daily fantasy platforms. Just play the numbers and pick 2 to 6 player stat projections on any type of sport. Tonight is a sports equinox, so you can go in any type of way, NHL, NBA, NFL, and MLB in that World Series, but I'm honing in on the NFL slate tonight. Give me less than half a touchdown for Josh Jacobs, more than 252.5 passing yards for Jared Goff, and then more than on 79.5 Amon-Ra St. Brown receiving yards. And the thing is, you can ride me, pause, you can fade me, but I'll tell you what, there's other creators out there that you can also take or fade, like comedian Andrew Schultz. So one more time, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. My favorite daily fantasy sports platform on the market. Use them like we do and get that $100, the first deposit match. But James Harden can get to the rack. The Beard has made a living at driving past his defender at the top of the key, collapsing defenders, and kicking it out to shooters or drawing a foul inside. And if outside of Tyler Herro, right now, Tyler Herro is the only guy that shows any resemblance of doing that. Jimmy Butler's only played in 2 games, and he looks like if I was out there playing, if we're going to be honest. He's shooting sub 40%. It's been horrific for Jimmy Butler. And I'm not going to try to overreact to Jay Butt's regular season start because we know that he doesn't care about the regular season. But the problem is, if you want to win the postseason, you're going to have to make the postseason. And you're going to have a good seed so you're not traveling on the road in those pivotal Game 7s and Game 1s. And the 2 most important games, in my opinion, could easily be Game 1 and 7. You start the series, and then you could end the series. And those would both be on the road like it was last season. And listen, when you're in the postseason, I'm going to trust Jimmy Bam and Eric Spoelstra to get the job done. But you're telling me it wouldn't help to get the Beard? I mean, the Heat have the worst point guard rotation in NBA history. I'm not even kidding when I say that. Kyle Lowry is your starter. He's horrific. And you want to talk about a backup point guard. Drew Smith. This guy is a bum. He should be arrested for crimes against humanity for how bad he is playing basketball. 5.3 points per game. He's been nothing. And the fact that he's had to play 15-plus minutes a night is unbelievable. And I get Josh Richardson has been banged up, and he's hopefully making his return tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks if you're watching this before that game. If not, hopefully he's playing Wednesday against the Brooklyn Nets. But either way, you can't live with Kyle Lowry and Drew Smith as your point guards for the entirety of the season. This offense is stagnant. And when it becomes crunch time, fourth quarter, defenses tighten up. You need someone to break down a defense, and you don't have it right now. Tyler can do it a little bit, but he has been so inefficient. Outside of the game against Boston, he shot 7 of 24 against Detroit, and against Minnesota, he shot sub 40% again. Tyler Herro, I expected a big year out of him, and I still think he will have a big year. He's had 20 points in the back-to-back games, 16 in game 1. I think he'll bounce back. But you need someone more clutch and someone to take more pressure off Jimmy Butler, Bam, and Tyler Herro. And James Harden is that guy. Fun fact about the Heat so far, they are averaging 20 points per game through 3 games in the fourth quarter. Want to know where that ranks? 29th in the NBA. And if you didn't know, there's 30 teams. So the Heat are the second worst fourth quarter scoring team in the NBA. They've got outscored by 7 against the Pistons and outscored by 9 against the Celtics and Timberwolves in the final quarter. It is unacceptable. The Heat have been in every game they've played in. Right there. They held a lead in 2 of the 3 going into the fourth quarters. And they cannot close. And James Harden is someone that will help you close just because he will take pressure off Jimmy Butler, Bam, and Tyler. He will drive by his man, get to the rack, draw another defender, and find the open guy, whether it be Bam, Tyler Herro, or Jimmy Butler cutting baseline. The Heat's offense would be so much more dynamic. It would take so much off the shoulders of Adebayo, of Tyler Herro, of Jimmy Butler to be the only 3 guys that can truly create for this Heat basketball team. The Heat need the beard, and to be honest, the beard needs the Heat because the Sixers look arguably better without Harden. Tyrese Maxey going for 30-plus a night with Joel Embiid. That duo looks really good. I think it's good for the Sixers and Harden to part ways, get Harden to Miami, send them Lowry and a first-round pick maybe to get this deal done, and watch that core 4 of Harden, Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam do some damage offensively, and the defense will always be there with Erik Spoelstra. But you need more offense, and you need it late because you have absolutely no creators as of right now when the defense tightens up in the fourth quarter. That's going to do it for today's show, but I got to know who is a real one on the channel. And if you are a real one, you've watched throughout the entirety of the video, and you're going to spam 305 for me in the comment section. Do you love the Miami Heat? Are you a real one? Spam those 305s in the comment section. That's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you subscribe to the Heat Report because we're breaking down the Heat all season long. We're doing watch parties. Unfortunately, not able to go live for the game tonight if you're watching on Monday against Damian Lillard and the Milwaukee Bucks. A heartbreaker, but I had some other duties I had to take care of at Chat Sports that are higher on my priority list, unfortunately. But we will be back for Wednesday against the Brooklyn Nets. So join the channel and make sure you tune in for our Wednesday watch party.